This is the Elevate Media Podcast, created for high achievers on a mission to continuously elevate their life and business. Now here's your host, Chris Anderson.
Welcome back to another recording of the Elevate Media Podcast. I'm Chris Anderson, your host. Today, we're diving into how you can build a correct YouTube strategy from an expert who's been doing it for 19 years. He's had 50 billion views for his clients. So we're excited to learn from him and dive into this conversation. We've got Jeremy Vest on the show. Jeremy, welcome to the Elevate Media Podcast today.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Super excited to have this conversation. We're going to get right into it, all right? Because we've heard, right, YouTube is broken. You've generated 50 billion views for your clients. So is that right, or what's going on?
Actually, YouTube is not broken. Your strategy is broken. A lot of people use YouTube for the wrong reasons, or most small businesses create videos instead of figuring out what people want to watch. So YouTube's not broken.
Okay.
Unfortunately, most channels are broken.
Okay. So when did you realize that most creators don't really need to hustle more? They just have to fix their content strategy?
So honestly, I've been doing YouTube strategy for 19 years now, which is a long time. I'm getting older. So, YouTube came out around 2005, 2006 is when I really started getting into the game. And I realized pretty quickly that people, even back then, were creating content for their needs, like what they wanted to sell or what they wanted to say.
Yeah.
And if the viewer isn't first, then obviously you've already lost the whole game.
Sure. So is it important with that, you're talking about viewer, what's keeping them stuck with, do they need to narrow down into a niche viewer? Is that what's keeping them stuck from growing?
The way the algorithms work for Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok is based on watch history.
Okay.
So these programs or these platforms are going to look at watch history and then serve videos to people with a similar watch history.
Okay.
One of by far the biggest problems people have is if you're talking about skateboarding today and breakdancing tomorrow, the people that are watching skateboarding videos don't care about breakdancing.
Yep.
And the algorithm and the audience is going to be completely severed.
Yeah.
And the algorithm's going to get to a point to where it stops serving your videos. So, for example, one of my students is now the most famous plumber in the world.
Awesome.
And his slogan is all things plumbing.
Okay.
If he talked about drywall or electrical, the algorithm would absolutely destroy him.
Yeah, for sure.
But he's always the guy to talk about plumbing.
So why do creators avoid that? Why do they avoid committing and narrowing down to that specific type market or viewer?
There's a lot of psychology in marketing, right?
Yep.
And if you look at most people that talk about a lot of different things on YouTube, go look at their business channel, go look at their website, go look at their house.
Right.
The truth is, in my opinion, a YouTube channel is just like a business, and you should have a business plan. You should know your purpose, your passion, your profit. You should know your messaging. That should be the exact same on your business cards. It should be the same on your website. And every single thing you do and say, when your grandmother asks you what you do, should be the exact on YouTube as it is on your website or LinkedIn. Okay. And unfortunately, I just think a lot of people are trying to find themselves and try to give value. A lot of people make money in 10 or 15 different ways. And with the advent of AI especially, I think that it's actually a very dangerous thing to be a generalist, especially on YouTube.
Yeah, because what is it? Is like 90% of people trying to grow on YouTube never actually monetize or something around that number?
Yeah,
something
way
like
more
that?
than that. More than 90%
Really?
never even get 1,000 subscribers.
Dialing it in, being more specific is going to help be the first key to kind of unlocking more growth with YouTube.
Exactly. If you don't know who your audience is, what your value is to the viewer, and create content for them, not for you, it's not about you actually at all.
Right.
If you can understand your natural born purpose, what keeps you passionate, and make money from it, profit, you think of 3 circles, and in the middle of those is purpose, passion, and profit. Okay. If you're in the center of those, you're making money, you're giving your purpose, and you're passionate, you'll probably keep creating the rest of your life. Yeah. If any of those three things are out of alignment, when things get hard, you're going to quit creating because you need to go make money, right, or you're not passionate, or you're not serving your purpose in life. And it's actually really, really hard, not just for YouTube, but for your purpose and your business and everything, your relationships, everything. It's really hard to understand your value to the world. It's very easy for people like blue collar workers that do electricity or plumbing. And, a lot of these people also just don't have ego. Right. So they just have to put the blinders on. I've helped about 90 channels get over 1 million subscribers at this point, and probably over 500 to get 100,000 subscribers. Wow. And the one thing in common, the people that are doing the work, the one thing they have in common is they do one thing better than everyone else, or they do one thing different than everyone else, or they have an audience that understands who they are or can relate to them.
So you talked about the profit, the passion, have everything aligned, right, to have success. You've been doing this 19 years. Has there been a point where that wasn't aligned, that you were like, what is going on?
I mean, I think multiple times a day, right? Okay. Like life is actually pretty hard.
Yeah.
This is what I say to my students. Mm-hmm. If you can tell me within 6 words what you do and why you do it, you're going to be okay in life. Okay. So for example, I help people unlock their YouTube strategy. Yeah. So if someone asks me what I do, that's the what and why. There's a book called Primal Branding. Okay. And in Primal Branding, it really describes the importance of this. But if you understand what and why, and you can say it within 6 words, you're probably going to believe it. And the more you say it out loud, the more it's on your business card, and your website, and your YouTube channel, and your Facebook page, the more you're going to believe that one thing. Yeah. If you say, hey, what do you do for a living? And you list 10 things, you probably do 9 of them crappy. Yeah. To be honest.
You're right, yeah. So figuring out what the one thing is, and it's keeping it simple, really. Don't overcomplicate it. So is that what separates creators who, can start growing, hit the 1K, 5K mark, from going from there to 500K, 1 million? Is that it? Or are there other pieces to it to get them to that level?
I think there's 2 things to have creators do well. And I would even change the word creator to business owners, because any channel I work with over 100,000 subscribers is a business. Sure. They're not like just a creator, right? Or I would even call them a media company before I called them a creator. So the 2 things: 1, an insanely amount of tenaciousness for no reason. They're just going to make a video when no one's watching. Yep. 2, they know their value and they don't shift around. They're not doing breakdancing today and skateboarding tomorrow. They're going down the path. Mm-hmm. And people that do well, like over 100,000 subscribers, listen to their audience and can actually adapt. But I will say there's a lot of people that I've worked with that aren't even good on camera. They're not models. Sure. They're not what you would think would be an ideal situation for someone to watch. Yeah. But they're talking to you, the audience. Mm-hmm. They don't change their topics, and they show up every week. That's really the biggest recipe for success.
That's awesome. And you said they aren't models, so there's still hope for me on our channel. No, just kidding. But yeah, I think, with that too, just getting out and creating those videos, because you could go make videos within your target demographic. There's so many things you could choose from. How do you guide them into, maybe picking 3 to 5 pillars, main topics that they create videos within? Is that a good strategy even, or do you have more pillars? I
would definitely say that you're going to have pillars within, and it really depends on the niche. So for example, with plumbing, you can talk to homeowners, you can talk to apprentices, you can talk to plumbers, you can talk to manufacturers of plumbing equipment. Yep. You could talk to people like Home Depot. Yeah. So with plumbers, you have those things.
Yep.
Within plumbing, you have foundation repair, you have residential, you have commercial. There's a lot of things. So 5 years ago, I would have maybe said get into plumbing. Today, I would say get into commercial or residential or leak slab repair.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah.
So I would be very
More
specific.
specific.
When I was helping running the largest skateboard YouTube channel in the world, all things skateboarding basically was the concept.
Yeah.
But now I would actually tell a brand to just focus on maybe skaters over 40
Okay.
or female skaters or something more specific. And the reason every few years, you get 10 times probably way more than 10 times more competition. But with AI, I could go make 1 million videos tomorrow with AI
Yep.
and upload them.
Yeah, it's true.
So I think
being specific battles the AI quantity that's been able to be created. Yes, is that
I think being specific helps you stand out in a crowded space.
Okay.
I think the only thing that's really going to battle AI is your ability to tell a good story.
Now let's dive into that. How do we set it up? So okay, we've narrowed into who we're talking to. We got our pillars, the content areas we're going to cover. How do we tell the stories that's going to separate us from all the AI content that just can be created, like you said, go make 1 million and post them? How do we tell good stories on YouTube to reach people?
So the first thing you have to do is you have to set the first 2 seconds. A lot of people will say 10 seconds or 5 seconds or 30 seconds.
It used to be that way, right?
Yeah, but our attention is that of a gnat at this point.
Yeah.
So it is definitely the first 2 seconds.
Okay.
And basically the way the entire algorithm works is click, watch, like. So people are going to click on your title and thumbnail. That should match your story.
Okay.
People are going to watch your editing, filming, and storytelling, and then they're going to like, comment, and share. Okay. So those elements are the most important. If you don't have a great thumbnail and title, people aren't going to click on your video and watch it.
Yeah.
If you don't have a great story or editing or filming, people aren't going to watch it.
Yeah.
And if it's not for them, they're not going to click watch, subscribe, share, because it's not for them, it's about you.
Sure.
So all those three things really have to work together. So telling a good story, I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Roger Wakefield, the plumber,
Yeah.
his most famous video is how to fix a leaky toilet.
Okay.
It's got 3 or 4 million views. I would not make that video today.
Really?
You know what I would make today?
No.
I'd say, did your leaky toilet cost you $1,000 last year?
Oh, okay. Tie a little bit more emotion into it, a little bit more
I would
pain.
put more emotion, but I would put more stakes. So I would put more tension.
Okay.
I would put a curiosity gap, and I would give people more reasons to click on the title and thumbnail.
Okay.
So now on the thumbnail, you just have a leaky toilet, right? But now you have $1,000 behind the toilet
Yeah.
going down the drain
Yeah.
of the toilet.
Yeah.
And you're still going to teach people how to fix their leaky toilet, but you're doing it with tension.
Yep.
You're doing it with storytelling.
Okay.
The hero's journey is every Disney movie.
Yep.
You know, the princess had a hard life, failed miserably, started doing better, found the prince, happy ever ending,
Right.
happy ending. So it really is that easy. You really just have to shift how you're thinking about teaching or educating or entertaining people.
Yeah.
You really need to have high stakes, and that first 2 or 3 seconds really needs to match the intent of the title and the thumbnail. So for example, when the best YouTuber in the world, Mr. Beast, when he tells someone a beginning of the video, he says something like, I survived being buried for 24 hours.
Okay. Yep.
The thumbnail is
Yep.
him being buried.
Yep.
The title is him being buried. And the first 2 seconds is him showing the scared, screaming of him being underground and freaking out.
Yeah.
So it's the whole emotional roller coaster in the first 2 seconds that really helps people understand I did this It's visual. I see it in the thumbnail. I see it in the title. I see it in the video. I'm saying it to you, and it all matches the intent.
And then you build the climax and you do the solution at the end and everyone's happy.
Exactly. And, the cool thing about AI is you can, what we do for our clients and our software is we identify the top 300 to 500 most viewed videos in the world for your exact niche.
Okay.
And then we take the titles, the scripts, the hooks, the thumbnails, and the descriptions, and we formalize them into formulas.
Okay.
So then we're not guessing. We know exactly what works, and then we're applying that to a script you make, or we're applying that to a thumbnail, or we're applying that to a title or a description. And now we're just not guessing anymore. We know exactly what the best videos in the world do.
So you mentioned AI. That just has opened up the door with data, right? Being able to track that many other people's videos, competitors' videos, and get that data to know, hey, here's how we can improve instantly. Why are people not leaning into that more? Is it just they don't know how? Is it the time to do it?
I've been doing this 19 years, right?
Right.
And the one piece of knowledge I have that a lot of creators don't is what works and what doesn't.
Okay, yeah.
It used to take me, for example, last year I did a YouTube audit of web.com.
Okay.
It took me about 2 months to manually find the top 500 performing videos, put the titles and descriptions and thumbnails in a spreadsheet, analyze them with data analysis software, and spit back like what the data is telling me of what actually works and what doesn't work. So my knowledge just becomes the fact that I'm a nerd and I break it all down.
Yeah.
I have been using AI for probably a decade. It's called different things back then.
Yeah.
But I've been using research analysis tools for a long time. And I think, first off, I just don't think people really even understand what makes something go viral, why people click on things, the psychological effects behind it all. And then secondly, I don't think people think to study the best performing things in the world.
Yeah.
But it sounds all easy when I say it out loud, right?
Right. Yeah.
But it definitely hasn't been an easy road to get here.
Yeah. And there's still time, right? So like if people are doing all this, there's still going to be, like, I know how to build muscle. I used to be an athletic trainer, so I know, the programs I have to go through. I know I have to go push weight and do it and eat right. But I'm not going to go in day 1 and then on day 6 have any results really at all. Like, it still takes time. You still have to do the work. Is it still the same now with growth on YouTube, even with AI, even with these, different secrets and hacks that we can do? It still takes some time, right?
I don't think it's ever been harder.
Really?
To be successful on social media because of AI. Okay. And, if people thought about it like that, if people thought about it like growing muscle or losing weight or taking a shower every week, and they thought about, here's the fixed mindset versus the growth mindset. The fixed mindset is my video didn't do well, I'm going to stop doing it.
Right.
The growth mindset is I know that I never have to work a day in my life for another company if I had 1 million followers.
Yeah.
If I had 1 million followers online or 100,000 followers online, I would never have to work for anyone else again in my life.
Right.
Because people know who I am.
Yep.
So the growth mindset here is the long haul.
Yeah.
And the fixed mindset is it didn't work. This is too hard. I hate this.
Right.
So if you think of it just like any other aspect of your business, like accounting or marketing, and you stick to a plan and you have a budget, it should work. The problem, though, is a lot of people stick to a plan, but they don't improve 1% every week.
Yep.
So they're not actually, I would actually argue if you're not improving, just stop.
Yeah.
Don't make bad videos people don't want to watch.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And 1% better each day is what I tell myself, is what, I coach soccer. I tell them just 1% better each day. You also mentioned their budget. Is it now, are we in a pay to play time frame? Do you have to put money at things to be able to grow successfully, or can you still do it organically without, paying?
You can absolutely still do organic on social media and grow. A lot of people used to say, like some of the biggest leaders in our space in the world used to say even a few years ago that, for example, Facebook was only pay to play now. This is not true.
Right.
I've had customers making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month in ad revenue alone on Facebook.
Yeah.
So I think there's just a lot of misinformation. And I think the biggest kind of killer for creators right now is there's a lot of hacks out there saying dumb stuff.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's just not a lot of people like me focused on data and science to help companies improve. And I think that's really messed up, from SEO to ads to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. I think it's just really messed up a lot of small businesses because they don't know who to trust now.
Right. And there's so much information out there. And, I'm curious, you mentioned a couple times, if you get to 1 million subscribers, you wouldn't have to work for anyone else ever again. People making $30,000, $40,000 a month. What does that look like as far as, revenue you can make? Like, are there tiers? Like, hey, I get to 1,000, I can, on average make X amount of dollars if I have 1,000 subscribers. Is there a level tier system kind of that you can generalize?
Unfortunately, there's not. And here's the reason.
Okay.
If you sold a 747 jet, right?
Yeah.
You theoretically would need, to make millions of dollars, you would need one viewer, the right viewer. Right. You need one view and one subscriber to make millions of dollars to sell a jet.
Okay, yeah.
So if you think with that in mind, I have a student, Lawn Care Life in Birmingham, Alabama. He teaches people weed control. So he helps people how to control the weeds in their yard.
Sure.
He helps people start weed control businesses.
Yeah.
He has 100,000 or 200,000 subscribers, but he makes a lot of money. And the reason he makes a lot of money is those weed control companies will sponsor him.
Okay.
He can get a lot of views on teaching people how to kill weeds organically in their yard, not toxic. And, one rule I will say is I have told him and all my customers to never try to make more than 10% of your money on ad revenue.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Ever.
Okay.
Because if ads went away, you're still a business.
Yeah.
So then how would you survive?
Okay.
And ads on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube have always been very volatile, and I would not rely on them.
Yeah. Is that the only way? So ads, so, you get, 100,000 subscribers. That revenue you hear people talking about is from ads solely.
That's what they're talking about, but that's 90% does not include the things I would do.
Okay.
I would always sell your own product or service first. Number one.
Sure.
Second thing I would do is be an affiliate for products you only believe in.
Yep.
Number 3, I would have brand partnerships for companies you believe in.
Gotcha.
And, ad revenue for me is usually number 5 or 6.
Okay. Good. So having a different diversification of what's bringing money in, which is smart to do. So you've, obviously you've had 50 billion subscribers for your clients. You're on a mission to help 100,000 creators in the world. Why that? Why is that your mission?
Well, I created an AI software company, and I feel like with the scale we can do that. I also honestly, my favorite customers have been small businesses.
Sure.
It's really cool to see a mom and pop type shop grow to 7 figures a year. Yeah. It's cool to see them sell their businesses and still have a multimedia company online and still do well. Yep. It's cool to see people 70 or 24, make money with this stuff. And I just think it's really, really exciting. If I can help change one life, that's great.
Yeah.
If I can help 100,000, that's awesome too.
Kind of to wrap things up, this has been a great conversation. I think a lot of valuable insight for people to actually implement and start growing their YouTube channels. And obviously we'll share where to connect with you at the end. But to wrap things up, what's the truth about YouTube success most creators aren't ready to hear?
The truth is that people aren't actually able to hear is you're good enough, but your content sucks.
I like that. Hard truth sometimes needs to hear that. So, and then they just follow the steps you talked about and get your help. And if people do want to get your help or learn from you, where's the best place for them to connect?
They can go to creatorunlock.com or Creator Unlock anywhere.
Perfect. Yeah, and everyone, make sure you do that. Get connected with Jeremy, learn from him, get his help. If you're trying to build a YouTube channel, obviously he's left a lot of value in this episode, and we appreciate that. And you know, we can see this happening again, a deeper dive, hopefully, on some certain topics. But Jeremy, again, thank you so much for being on the Elevate Media Podcast today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And remember, guys, share this episode with someone else who's trying to grow on YouTube so we can help support them and get this out to more people. And if you haven't followed the show, make sure you do that so we keep doing this for everybody. We're coming up on 500 episodes of trying to help entrepreneurs, and that's one way you can help support us do that mission. So again, until next time, go out there, elevate your life, elevate your brand, and we'll talk to you again soon.